Hey, what's happening? My name is Ross Alex, and today is Q&A day. And I'm super fired up because you guys asked for it and I wanted to try it out. Let's go ahead and just dive right into it. Remember, you can send all your questions to right here, this email. I'll get it directly and we'll be sure to answer it in the next Q&A if you guys enjoy this one. Let's roll. Ryan's question: what does it take to find someone to work with on your first deal from start to finish? Well, Ryan, the step number one to finding somebody to partner up with or JV with them is to get them excited about what you're doing, right? Remember, there's two types of equity: sweat equity and debt equity. And actually, sweat equity is more valuable than debt equity, right? Because there's just so much money around here. There's so much private money available. Getting somebody excited and being knowledgeable about what it is exactly that you want to do and what you plan on accomplishing, it makes it super, super simple to go ahead and find somebody who wants to partner up with you on deals. Next question. Pete asks, how do you find funding for your deals? Well, there's multiple sources on where you can find money to fund deals, with the best source being number one, drum roll, private money. Now, private money seems to be everybody's favorite topic, and personally, before I got started in the real estate space, the idea of somebody having $1 million in a bank account, to me, just only existed in the movies, right? I didn't think that was actually real until I started getting involved with other entrepreneurs and going to networking events and finding that people have tons and tons of non-performing IRAs, non-performing money market accounts, savings account, checking account, and you can actually use a script that I actually provide to my students and raise private capital that way, giving them a great return, or an ROI, which is a return on investment. The second way of getting private money is by using what's called hard money. There's tons and tons and tons of hard money lenders in your area, in Houston, New York, wherever you are. Just go ahead and Google search hard money lenders. They have their qualifications and requirements that you must meet in order to get a loan from them. But it's a great source because they're what's called asset-based lenders. They lend based off the asset and not so much your personal situation, your personal financial situation, or your experience level for that matter. So private money and hard money, go ahead. If you haven't gotten the scripts that I give to my students on raising that capital, make sure you get it. Next question. April asks, should I take the real estate course and get licensed before I try any investing, or is there a better strategy? That's a great question, April, and I get that question all the time. Well, should you be licensed? Should you not be licensed? Really, it all depends on what you want to do, right? Investing in real estate and being a licensed realtor are two completely different things. One doesn't affect the other. Just know that, right? Now, if you have a real estate license, that's great. You can work as an agent, which is also like acting as a salesperson, right? You're the middle person or the principal in the transaction, representing either a buyer or a seller in something that they're doing, right? As investors, we are actually putting the opportunities together and buying the properties ourselves. So typically we'll have agents and brokers work for us. Now, being an agent can benefit you in some aspects of investing, like saving money on closing costs, right? Or like saving money on not paying realtor commissions, right? So you pay the realtor 3% on the buy side, 3% on the sale side. If you're listing your own properties, you can go ahead and save that 3%. I recommend starting off wholesaling real estate first, which is sort of like being an agent, but you don't need a license to do it. Make some cash, build up some cash reserves, build up your network, build up your connections, and then go ahead and start buying properties to fix and flip. All right, next question. Linda Blue asks, what is the method that you use to pick your properties? If I understand the question correctly, you're asking me how do I evaluate my deals? I buy deals based off the industry standard 70% and 85%, which means 70% of the ARV or the after repair value for a fix and flip, and 85% of the after repair value for a rental property, right? So we have this super simple formula that we run our numbers through, our repair estimates, our ARV, our purchase price, right? We can determine exactly if it's a buy or if it's a pass. Next question comes from Andy, and Andy says, what methods do you use for finding motivated sellers? My number one method on finding motivated sellers is direct mail. It's the highest converting marketing strategy when you're looking for deals, right? Now, wholesaling is marketing, right? Marketing. It's such a huge aspect of wholesaling real estate, and you must be able to use highly converting marketing strategies in order to not only get the most out of your dollar, but also convert the most leads, right? Now, direct mail, whether you're using yellow letters or postcards, gets the most calls. Now, some people do bandit signs, some people drive for dollars, some people go to networking events and just find deals word of mouth. I recommend going on clicktomail.com and getting access to some mailers and get those out. Set your metric. Maybe it's going to be $200 a week, $400 a week, $1,000 a month, whatever it is. You got to figure out your budget and get those mailers out. Next question comes from Lewis, and Lewis says, where does one find investors? Where do you find investors? Networking events. Really simple. All you have to do is hop onto meetup.com and find the local real estate events in your area, right? There's local real estate clubs called RIAs, right? Real estate investment associations, where a bunch of like-minded individuals get together and talk real estate. You can meet hard money lenders, you can meet private lenders, you can meet realtors, brokers, general contractors, other rehabbers, wholesalers. There's a ton of resources there, and you'll see that by going to these networking events and telling people who you are and what it is exactly that you do. You'll be meeting a ton of other investors, and you'll be able to JV or joint venture with them and do more deals that way. Next question comes from Ray, and Ray says, what was the biggest mental hurdle you had to jump when committing to become a real estate entrepreneur? For me personally, 2 years ago, I was really in a rough place. I was broke, I was miserable, I was a college student, I wasn't happy, I was freaking out because I didn't want to go to college for 6 years just to get a job that paid me $40,000, $50,000 a year. So when the opportunity presented itself to me, I was ready to go, right? Literally, I remember, and I tell this story, I was interviewed on a radio show. I'll post a link if you want to go listen to it, but I actually flew out to Vegas. I called out of work. It was like a last minute thing, and I ended up in Houston. I committed. I said, I'm going to Houston to flip real estate. I found a mentor. I started going to networking events, and I put all the pieces of the puzzle together. So for you, your biggest mental hurdle may be, can I actually do this, right? Or what if I don't get the results that I want? There's a ton of things that scare off people from investing in real estate and from being an entrepreneur in general. And my advice to you is just go ahead and do it, because you have to ask yourself, what do you have to lose? Right now, me, when I was at that point in my life 2 years ago, I asked myself, what do I have to lose? I literally had nothing to lose. There was nothing you can take away from me. I had a negative bank account, right? You couldn't even take my money because I didn't have any money. And I was ready to go. I was at that point in my life where it was either go big or go home. So I hope that answers your question, Ray. Next question is going to come from Quentin. And Quentin says, are you happy? Yes, I'm super happy. I think I'm happier now than I've ever been in my life because I just moved. I have a beautiful girlfriend I've been with for 4 years. I have great friends, a huge support team. I have a great family that supports me in everything that I do. This year I was able to travel to like 14 different cities that I've never been to before. And I've been able to live the financially free lifestyle, and the grind doesn't stop. So I'm definitely happy. Next question comes from Dexter. And Dexter says, did you start off rehabbing? What list do you have the most success with in your area? And how often and how many mailings do you send? Yellow letters or postcards? And Dexter also says, can you talk about some of your available coaching programs, and are they geared towards rehabbing or wholesaling? All right, a couple questions there. Did I start off rehabbing real estate? Yes. That was the first thing I did. I looked at all the real estate models and how to make money in real estate, and I learned about wholesaling, I learned about rehabbing, I learned about buying and holding, and I started rehabbing because I thought it was the most badass. I thought that's where the most money was. Once I found out how profitable wholesaling was, I started to implement that into my business, and the buying and hold stuff is yet to come, but it will soon. The next question you ask is, what list do you have the most success with in your area, and how often and how many mailers do you send? So the highest converting list that I find to work for me for the wholesale and off-market properties is going to be probate leads and also absentee owners. Probates and absentee owners. I use a local software here in Houston. I believe they're in Dallas too. I know you're in Dallas, Dexter, and they go ahead and pull tons and tons of addresses for you, and you can mail out postcards. How many do? I do about $1,000 to $2,000 worth of postcards. I pay about 49 cents a postcard, so you can do the math, right? And you want to be super consistent. All my students go ahead and they get started with their budget, whether it's $200 a month, $300 a month. It doesn't matter how much you put into it. Obviously, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. But the consistency is the key, right? You really want to be consistent with your marketing, because till this day, I get phone calls from people that I mailed 3 months ago, right? So it's going to always be on that reoccurring basis. And I started off doing yellow letters, then I split tested. I tried postcards, and I found that postcards convert higher than yellow letters. That works for me. Not saying that it's gonna work for everybody, but I like postcards. They're cheaper, and people don't have to open a letter, so I find that it converts higher. You also asked if I could talk about some coaching programs. Absolutely. I have coaching programs that cater to wholesalers. I have coaching programs that cater to rehabbing real estate. Both. It's kind of like an all-inclusive program where we cover everything, but once you get started into one of those programs, we go over a plan. We put this whole action plan together, and we find out exactly where you want to be, how quick you want to get there, how much you want to make, what it is that you're going to do, what your skill sets are, what you lack, and what we need to work on. Those programs are on an application basis only. All my students do deals. I have 100% success ratio, and I love working with new people. So if you're interested, go ahead and give a call to the office at 832-324-9886 or email. I'll put that email right here, flippinginaction@gmail.com. We'll send you an application, and if you qualify for one of our programs, we'd love to go ahead and talk to you about that. That's going to be it for the questions, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and drop a comment below. Let me know if you want to do more of these. If you don't like them, that's fine. I won't do them anymore. It's my first time doing a Q&A for you guys in this format. We're always doing events in your area, so show up to one of our events. If we haven't came to your city yet, go ahead and let me know, guys. Drop a comment, say, hey Ross, I want you and the Flipping in Action team to come to my city. We'll go ahead and reach out to you and see if we can get something set up. Right now we have Houston on the calendar, Dallas on the calendar, San Antonio on the calendar, we have Austin on the calendar, so we're doing a little Texas takeover, but we're looking to come to your city, guys. My name's Ross Alex. Eric's here, we're hanging out, and we can't wait to see you guys in the next Q&A video. I love you guys so much. Remember, guys, Flipping in Action brought you this Q&A today, and if you liked it, give me a big thumbs up. Smash it, guys. Drop a comment, share this with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next Q&A.